You definitely deserve a story. What would you do if you found out that your grandmother was a lugao? Spoiler alert, you might want to only mind the business that pays you. This story is brought to you by my uncle. It's about his childhood friend. They all grew up in the same neighborhood together. So everybody assumed, we'll call his friend Mike. Everybody assumed that Mike's grandmother was a lugao, but Mike was the only one that seemed to be in denial about that fact. Well, Mike's curiosity was soon about to lead him right to the truth. Now, the thing is, Mike would always get woken up out of his sleep around the same time every single night due to all the haunting activities that went on in his house. So on top, the roof, it always sounded like somebody was jumping on it or there were creatures running. The front of his house always sounds like there's people in the front. Until one day, Mike grew tired and said, I'm gonna go investigate. So in Haiti, we say, wap kon George. One night, Mike woke up, regular time, 2 or 3 in the morning, and he's hearing all the activities, and he's like, okay. So he gets out of his bedroom and makes his way to the front door. So Mike gets to the door, and just for reference, his door has a little hole that you can see through. So he would have to get on his knees and peep through the hole to see what's happening outside. So Mike gets down and starts to look through the little hole, and what he saw was strange, to say the least. He saw creatures flying around his property that he described to have fire for tails. So meaning in the lower end of the body, the buttocks area, fire was actively coming out of it. And they were flying around his property, going up on his roof, and it was a lot. And it wasn't just one. It seemed to be like a clan of them. And Mike, just being infatuated, is just looking through this little peephole. He can see them, and he thinks that they cannot see him. So every single night, he would continue to do this. Every single time he would wake up, he would go, get on his knees, look through the little peephole to see what is going on outside today. He saw some really freaky stuff outside of the lugaos, meaning like he saw somebody actually transform into a cat. And it just seemed like they all came here in front of his property to meet up. This is like the playground for these lugaos. So since it was habitual for Mike to go look through the peephole every single night, this night he was like, you know what? He was really tired. He was just going to go to sleep. And then when he wakes up, naturally, because he was going to wake up around the same time, he was going to return to that spot and look. But that night, he wanted to go to sleep. So he went and laid down in his bed, in his bedroom. This is important. And he fell asleep. Well, in Mike's dream, he was back on his knees looking through the little peephole when suddenly, this time, a lugao actually spotted him and made eye contact with him. The second they made eye contact with him, they basically managed to get a hold of him. So once they got a hold of him, they had him underneath their stomach and they were flying around with Mike. Mike was absolutely horrified, screaming in agony that this lugao has gotten him, and now he's flying around looking down and seeing his house, and he's like, who is going to save me? So as Mike is screaming, he looks down and he hears somebody say, is that my grandson? And this creature would come from the property and fly up to where Mike was with the fire underneath her butt and everything and start tussling with the lugao that had Mike. So you had these two lugaos literally fighting and scrapping until the lugao that flew up grabbed Mike and put Mike underneath her stomach to start flying back. When suddenly, while she has Mike in the air trying to fly back to the property, she gets attacked again. And when she gets attacked, Mike would escape from her grip and would come flying all the way down. And by flying, I mean falling. And as Mike is falling, I don't know if you guys have ever dreamt of yourself falling in a dream and what happens. Eventually you joked up out of your sleep and you wake up, which was what happened to Mike. However, remember how I said that Mike went to sleep in his bedroom? So why did Mike wake up on his knees in front of the door where he always looks out through the peephole? Mike was actually saved because of his grandmother. Yes, his grandmother was a lugao, but this lugao actually spared his life. So what was Mike going to do? What could Mike do? So the next day when they woke up, Mike would see the grandmother and they would just go on with their days because the grandmother would just tell Mike, mind your business. Anyway, that one was definitely a good one. My uncle was here literally for 5 days, so he gave me so many stories, and I have so many stories for years, and I literally cannot wait to give them all to you guys. But you guys have to do something for me. If you can follow me on this platform, I would appreciate that. Leave a comment so I know you're fucking with these story times, and also make sure you follow me on Instagram and on YouTube as well, because I will be dropping more interesting stories, the stories that you guys actually want to see on YouTube once I reach 500 subscribers. On the top of my TikTok page, right where it says Instagram, if you click on that, both my Instagram link and my YouTube link will pop up. Right now, the two names I have for you guys are the humans and the abducted. So let me know. And guys, I really want to go to St. Lucia Carnival 2024 this year. So please, please, please turn up for me so I can get brand deals. So these people can want to work with me and bring me to St. Lucia Carnival. Okay, bye. Thanks.